Hello, God bless you today, and thank you so much for joining me. The title of our video today is Daily Manna, Strength for the End Times. You know, it's easy to talk about the things of God when everything is going just the way you want it to. But when your world begins to shake, to rock, and to reel, what then? Well, I've been having a deeply spiritual experience as a result of walking through the last days of my dad's life. And then obviously these days afterward. And I'm going to share some things with you. All during this time, God has been saying to me, daily manna. Iris, get what you need for the day. Now let's look at manna in Exodus 16. Now, this is where the children of Israel were in the wilderness and they were complaining about food. And God supplied something to them every day called manna. And I love what they say here in verse 16. The children of Israel saw it and they said to one another, "What is it?" For they did not know what it was. And Moses said to them, "This is the bread which the Lord has given you to eat." God was supplying them daily. And that's what I'd like to talk with you about today. God provides access to Him daily through prayer and worship. And folks, this is the only way that I have been making it through this dark night of the soul. Having daily access to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords through prayer. In prayer, I'm coming to God. I'm bringing the needs of my heart and my soul, the issues of life to Him because He's truly at the center. He's the one holding all things together. Let's listen to Colossians 1, verse 17 in the Amplified. It says, "And He Himself existed and is before all things, and in Him all things hold together. His is the controlling, cohesive force of the universe." My. And folks, I'm aware of God's presence and how I need to turn my attentions toward His presence and invite Him into my situation and into my circumstance. He is Jehovah Shammah. That means the Lord is there. He is Emmanuel, and that means God with us. Let me share with you something else that's very, very important, and this has to do with worship. As we are praying, it's important to see God for who He is, a being who is far greater than anything that we could ever imagine. And He is the one, again, that's at the center, holding all things together. He's the King of Kings. He's the Lord of Lords. He's exalted above whatever your situation is. And I exalt Him and I lift Him up over anything that I am going through. I love Psalm 90 and 2. It says, "Before the mountains were brought forth, or ever you had formed the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, you are God." Now, this is who I have in mind when I am praying and offering the needs of my heart to Him. Then I have something a little funny for you here. In prayer, it's important to pray God's priorities and not your own. I was praying for someone the other day, and it just really was impressed upon me that these were all my priorities. These were all the things that I wanted. And then that prayer began to shift, and I began to pray God's priorities. Lord God, deliver this individual. Set this person free. Lord God, allow this person to walk in your will and your plans and your purposes for this person's life. My. I could sense the power there because it was not about me. It was about God's kingdom being fulfilled in this individual's life. What's the result of all of this? How has all of this helped me? And how will it help you? It helps your soul to be more resilient, more flexible. You're able to hold on and move with God despite adversity, the highs and the lows, the dark, the light. You're able to walk with and hold on to God, and your soul becomes resilient. Let me give you a verse that speaks to that. It's Habakkuk 3, verses 17 through 19. It says, "Even though the fig trees have no blossoms, and there are no grapes on the vines. Even though the olive crop fails and the fields lie empty and barren, even though the flocks die in the fields and the cattle barns are empty, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. My soul is resilient, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in the God of my salvation. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, able to tread upon the heights. Oh, my. I want to encourage you today as you walk in daily manna, your daily access to God in prayer and in worship. You are being transformed into the image of Christ. And boy, are you and am I being strengthened. Be encouraged. I want to thank you for listening. This is Just Iris. Please think on these things.